Hi and welcome to this tutorial of how to draw a fox in soft pastels. So this is a time-lapse version of a much longer tutorial which is over on my Patreon channel, so do check that out if you want to draw along in real time. Something I did slightly differently on this tutorial is putting in the grid method and just showing how the outline is created rather than just having the outline appear on the page. So I think this is quite a helpful thing to watch me doing so you can see how I'm figuring out where to put the outline for this drawing. So for the flower, I didn't particularly put in much detail. I'm just putting in the sort of the shape of where that flower is going to go. But for the fox, I was trying to make sure I had a very accurate sort of outline drawing so everything was placed in the right place. And what I actually did was have the drawing next to the photograph that I was drawing from with the grid printed onto that photograph next to me. And that really, really helped. So I could reference what I was seeing to make sure I was still putting things in the right place as I started to put the soft pastels in. So as you can see, I put in a tiny bit of the green background there using a soft pastel stick, and it's just rough. It's just so that I've got green there to go over the top of, because I then wanted to go in and start to get the details of the fox in on the page. So I started off with the nose because I like working from left to right, so I didn't want to put in stuff that I was then going to lean on later on. So I've got the nose in, and then I'm now going in with the soft pastels again just to get that base layer in. So I like to create the sort of the base layer with the soft pastel sticks, get that really strong color, that vibrancy, and get that all rubbed into the page, start to create the map from which I'm going to work on, and then go in with the pencils and start to get those details in. So once I've got that base there established, when I pick up the pencils, I can already see the direction in which the fur is going to go in. I can see the changes in color. That initial layer is so important in helping us understand what's coming next so that we have something to work from, because otherwise our lines will start to jar, we'll be going in the wrong directions, we'll potentially be putting in the wrong colors. So I'm still just building up that sort of base there. I've sort of put in where those sort of whisker marks are going to be, and I'm just gradually building up that white grey layer around the muzzle. And then I'm doing this first because I don't want it to get too muddy when I go in with the sort of the redder colours, the redder tones of the fox. So I'm making sure I get this in first. Also, again, working from left to right, I like to be able to put in the left side first and then work across. So I've done a bit of light to dark, a bit of dark to light. I'm sort of changing up how I'm doing it. But I think that helps with the realism, because if you can sort of do your dark to light colors and then go over with your dark colors again, or if you can do your light to dark colors and then go with your light colors again, you will create that sort of impression of it being actually realistic. And if you actually ran your fingers through this fur, the color would change. So you need to have that impression of all these sort of layers of fur all working together really, really nicely. And of course, it's about 3 hours long, this tutorial on Patreon. So I do talk you through which pencil I'm picking up, exactly how I'm holding it, the pressure I'm using. So I really talk you through exactly what I'm doing as I go. So now I've started to go in with that sort of red tone, and there's a lot of brown in there. So I'm going in with the brown to get the sort of the shadow layers in first. And then I'm gradually building up from that brown and starting to go to the sort of more red, burnt orange, auburn sort of tones to gradually build up and get that highlight that you can see running across the top of the snout. So you can see we've done it on the nose. There is quite a strong highlight that you can see where the light is shining on that nose. So you're not only just thinking about the colours of the fox, but you're thinking about where the light is shining on the fox, because you need to still make this look realistic. So you need to be making sure that you're getting those right colours in, you're getting them in the right direction, but you're also paying attention to where that light source is, because the colours will change depending on how much the light is shining on it. So I'm just going in again and I'm getting that base layer in with the soft pastels, and I'm just getting that rubbed in with a makeup applicator and a cotton wool stick, and then I'm starting to go in with the pencils around that eye. The eye is really just, it's a little tiny slit, but you can just about see the eye in there as this fox is sort of sniffing this flower. So there's a tiny little highlight present in that eye to sort of show the life that is in there. I made it a tiny bit more obvious, a bit bolder than it was in the photograph, because I think making that show just brings this fox to life so well. So I'm just going in and I'm getting all those lovely details in on that red fur. So it's just a case of building up your colours and making sure that those pencils are going in the right direction and they're the right length. And then I'm gradually building up from the dark colours to the light colours. So you can see I'm going in with those really lovely highlights now, because there is a lot of sort of white, light grey, creamy tones all present in the top of the head. And then I thought this was a great place to leave part 1 because we had quite a solid chunk in, and it was about 3 hours long, which is how long I like to make each part of the tutorial. So this is the end of part 1 of the time lapse. I hope it's been helpful and given you an insight into how I teach, and I will release part 2 next week. So I'll see you then. Please do hit subscribe if this was helpful, or head over to my Patreon channel if you want to learn more. Thank you. Bye.